So I decided one day that I was just going to get into PR, and I kind of learned by doing. And, along the way, it's been 15 years. I've been running my agency. I've learned a thing or two. And I realize that there is a lot that could overwhelm you when you want to get into this, but I want to kind of help you think about some simple steps to help you break into PR, hone your skills, master your craft. I think that the approach that you take for learning PR that focuses on really solid fundamentals serves as a great foundation to build on, and then you layer on mastery. That's the approach that I took, and that's the approach that I teach, and that's what works really, really well. You really want to be this deep dive expert doing industry specific topics, industry specific expertise, that you are going to be the go-to and know all of the things that are happening. So if you decide you want to be in hospitality, you need to be the one that knows if there's a new restaurant coming to town, who's behind that restaurant, if there's a hotel that's coming, and whether something else is closing in your niche. So you can be able to kind of know and be like a mover and shaker and see what's happening in your basically, like when clients come to you, you want to be able to say to them, I'm dialed in, I know what's happening, I know how to position you among other types of businesses that are relevant to yours, because I have my finger on the pulse. Like, we are always kind of keeping up on new product releases in the baby and kids space, new innovations, companies that are coming out with really cool technologies that are being acknowledged by the media, and trying to see what makes them special and how we can fit our clients' products into that narrative. So it helps to be with your finger on the pulse of a certain industry, so that you can be this kind of expert. And then it's like you're talking the talk. When you get on the phone with clients, you're able to say to them, oh yeah, I understand your space really well because I follow what's happening. And then when you go to the media, being able to be the kind of go-to expert, and that also goes back to being locked in your niche, because you can't know everything about everything. So how can you keep up with certain industries so you know exactly what's happening, what journalists that your clients need to be connected to, you've built relationships with those journalists. So it's all about doing your research and being able to really check into who are the movers and shakers in those industries, who are the journalists that are the gatekeepers, and how do you kind of endear yourselves to them and become a go-to resource. And then your clients have a foot in the door because you are a trusted source for those contacts, right? So it's about being a reliable, responsible, goes back to like protecting your reputation, doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And one of the final things that is probably the most important thing is building your skills, right? So really focusing on those foundational things, like with PR pitching, it's the core approach, which is timeliness and relevance, getting what you need from your clients, letting them know when you don't have what you need, so that you are aligned with them on setting them up for success, and letting them know how they are going to be a key player in their own success, right? Like, clients have to be bought in. This is also why we know that when you charge more for your services, you get clients that are more invested in seeing you be successful. Ask anyone in the agency accelerator, and anyone who's ever pitched a business before, your lowest paying clients will be your biggest headache 100% of the time. I've been doing this 15 years. I can attest to the fact that that is a fact, honestly. Like, every single time we've ever done a discount or made a concession and lowered our rate, those clients are less invested in their success. They're going to be all over you. The ones that pay more, they tend to leave you alone. But you need to kind of focus on that at the beginning of what you need to get from your clients, so that they are setting you up to be successful. And if you don't have what you need, you have to feel confident to go back to them and say, listen, this is what it's going to take for us to have great results in PR. We need these things from you, and then guide them through. That's like sort of the beginning. We teach this in the pitch lab. It's like the core of what you need. Then it's, building out a solid strategy so that you're aligned with your client's goals and they are aligned with what efforts you're taking to help them achieve those goals. You guys are really understanding each other's purpose and you're bought into it together. And then you have kind of a roadmap where you know what you're doing for them and when, who you're pitching, who you're reaching out to and what approach you're taking. And then you're able to pivot. So you're tracking results. And if things are you're not getting feedback, what do you do next? Who do you reach out to? What do you say to them? How do you follow up? Do you give up? Like, do you go to that same editor and try one more time and then just throw in the towel and say, no, that's not it? Or do you kind of retool and revisit, take a different approach? How do you pivot for your clients if things are not going as expected? Or how do you lean into results that are working really well and do more of that? That's what happens a lot with our PR outreach, is testing different approaches and seeing what resonates and seeing what editors are clinging onto and getting really excited about. And if it's nothing, and if it's crickets, you can't go back to your client and say, well, no one's interested. You have to be, come with solutions and come back to them and say, we tried that and it didn't work the way we expected. And here's how we're going to reposition and go back and take another approach to make this work for you. So it's, again, coming with that expertise so that you can have solutions for your clients. So, then getting all the way to the point where you are, getting the editors what they need. They're biting on your pitch. They love what you're talking about. And you are coordinating that opportunity for your client and making sure, because a lot of people I've been asked, how do you, because you guys know there's a lot of back and forth and sometimes things fall through, and it seems to happen quite a bit for some PR professionals. So how do you make sure that things happen the way that you want them to? You get the right information to editors. You are, fact checking. Sometimes you don't get an opportunity to fact check. So you're getting them the most complete, accurate, current information possible so that they are writing the story based on the information that you want them to share with the public. So that has to be all completely established. That means your clients can't be changing prices all the time. We've had clients that do that too. And they're like, well, that ran and it's the wrong price. And it's like, well, that's what you told us the price was. And then you changed it. So little things that are aligned, and knowing that you're moving stories forward, you're getting editors and journalists the information they need. Maybe it's right now, one of the tactics we're doing that's working really well is digital virtual desk sides. So our client can't go to New York and meet with editors doing desk sides, but they want to do a demonstration and have something be a demonstrative meeting where they're showing how to use their product. So we're doing Zoom virtual desk sides, and our client is loving them, and the results have been really, really awesome. And it's seeing those through to completion and knowing that we have told the editors and told the client the purpose of the meeting so it doesn't veer off course. So our client has their key talking points and know what they're trying to convey. Because if they start to, have like a conversation that goes off track and then the editor forgets the point of the meeting and it's just sort of like a meet and greet, that's not going to result in a feature. So then what do you do after that? You follow up and you get the confirmed results, right? So then you take those results and you leverage them and you get more exposure for your clients. It's like an entire process, from starting with the client, figuring out their objectives, making sure that they are setting you up for success, being the leader to them, guiding them in their strategy, pivoting if things aren't going well, knowing who to reach out and timing things the right way, and showing something in a way that is really relevant to that publication. So it's timely and relevant. Those are the core fundamentals, and then layering your expertise on top of it. And this is exactly the approach that we take in our new membership program, the Pitch Lab, which is just a complete, absolute roadmap for solid PR skills, foundational skills in the core content, and then layering in masterclasses. And then something super, super cool that I want to show you because I just got it. We are going to be releasing execution guides every single month so that you can master timeliness and relevance with a guide that will help you know exactly what you need to be focused on and when.